It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Tuesday's Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the 21st day of May 2024, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. Should be another seasonal day here today. Temperature up to about 80 or so. It's been a terribly difficult 24 hours for me, folks. Number one, as most of you know, I went to the pulmonary folks twice in the last several weeks, and they put me on a new inhaler and a new treatment for my breathing. Yesterday was the 5th day of the joint venture. And I had started coughing a little. But last night, I started coughing nonstop. I mean, for hours, I coughed. You can probably hear it in my voice today. I'm not sick, folks. Not in the least. But I coughed and coughed and coughed so bad that this morning I put in an emergency call to the doctor and said, okay, what do we do? Do I keep up? I mean, the coughing's literally going to kill me. Or do we take it down for now? I said, I'm waiting to hear from him. So yeah, I should get a phone call while I'm on the show and say, oops, I got to take that. You'll understand why. And then this morning, just to make things more interesting, of course, the first thing that happened, I got one of those forced upgrades. I hate those things. So I had to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. So then I finally got to setting up the show and I had a total computer collapse. Everything just went. So I literally had to start over from scratch. All the stuff I used for the podcast, I've still got to go find that and get it up. But now I've got my email and I've got my StreamYard and nothing else. Facebook, for whatever reason, now has started making me do all these codes and things every time I go to a Facebook page. It's just ridiculous. But anyway. So much with that. I'm on the air. At least I think I'm on the air. I really can't tell from the situation. Let's see. I can't tell if I come over here and jump over to the chat room. Mike, Kenneth, checking to see if anybody else is going with us to Europe. Steve's with us back home from his cruise. Oh, he and his wife are both sick. Oh, sorry about that. There's Katie this morning. So I'm assuming nobody's complaining, so I guess you can see and hear me. So anyway, all right, today we've got a bunch of stories today. 4 passengers arrested on MSC Seaside. Microplastic filter trial is underway. Well, this one kind of opened my eyes a little bit, I'll tell you that, folks. Coast Guard rescue on the first night of a cruise. Test voyage for a new TUI ship. Margaritaville at Sea Islander heading for Florida. And finally this morning, a newborn found dead on the Silver Whisper. And lots more live here at 11 o'clock today on the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. We've got a lot of new subscribers recently, so we might have some new folks out there. Feel free to jump into the chat room and say hello. At the end of each show, I always go over the chat room and try to get through and say mention everybody that's here. Today is another good day for me, folks. It's National Strawberries and Cream Day. Now, this time of year in Virginia, we get pretty good strawberries. And I actually don't have to have cream with mine, although that's good. But just give me some chopped up strawberries. Maybe throw some on my cereal in the morning. Just a little touch of sugar just to sweeten them up a little bit if they're too tart. I like that a lot. Or to add some strawberries into a salad. Makes a nice little interesting wrinkle. But I like strawberries when they're fresh. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, assuming I can find it before the day's over with. So eventually the podcast will get posted there and posted on the networks too. But all the big guys have us. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. We do this Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock. I am getting ready to, and I have not done it yet. I was going to do it this morning until all these disasters started happening around me. I feel like the house is coming down. Oh, please. I better not say that. But anyway, also, if anything major happens on weekends, I could go live at any time. Something major happens during the day, I'm able to jump in live on that. I post videos a lot, and I'm posting a lot more now. So, as always, the thumbs up button helps us out a lot. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. As I'm pushing 6,000. I don't think I've hit there yet. It was 59. Well, let's see if I can pull that up while I'm talking. But it's we're on our way at least to 6,000 subscribers. And will it let me? I don't know, because I had nothing up on YouTube. And let's see if I can now. Come on, it should. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to try to go over here to YouTube Studio. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I could hear it in my ear. So, anyway, folks, all right. I guess we might as well get down to some news. I'll get over in the chat room eventually and see who all is here and what you guys have to say. But now let me see if I can get down here to the starting of the news. I am so confused this morning, folks. Now, I'm confused most mornings, but this morning is really, I'm totally off my game. So let's get started on the right side. Italian authorities have detained 4 young passengers on charges of allegedly raping an Italian woman aboard the MSC Seaside while the ship was traveling from Marseille to Genoa. The Genoa Border Police led the investigation, successfully identifying the suspects. The MSC Seaside docked in Genoa on the evening of May the 17th and remained in port until the next evening as the investigation was conducted, according to several Italian news sources. Ship security identified the suspects, who were then handed over to the police. Authorities have reviewed footage from the onboard CCTV cameras and interviewed multiple witnesses. 4,000 passengers, including school groups from Messina, Sicily, were temporarily confined on board during the investigation. The suspects, all over 18 years of age, are under strict confidentiality as the investigation proceeds. Following the prosecutor's approval, the ship was allowed to continue on its voyage. All right, now I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. Today's feature story comes from Robert McGillivray of Cruise Hive. Microplastics are one of the most aggressive pollutants in our oceans, killing millions of animals each year. Plankton, shellfish, fish, and mammals such as whales and dolphins, are affected by the discharge of microplastics building up in their bodies and leading to malnutrition and ultimately death. Cruise ships are part of the microplastic pollution that ends up in our ocean, particularly through the onboard laundry releasing microfibers going into the wastewater streams and personal care products used by passengers and crew members, which contained microbeads. UK-based Marella Cruises, which operates 5 cruise ships, has started a new initiative to combat the microplastic problem that its ships create by installing a revolutionary new filter system. In partnerships with Cleaner Seas Groups and the University of Surrey, Marella will be using 2 Indicon filters on the crew laundry system during an initial 6-month trial on board Marella Explorer. The Indicon filter, engineered by Cleaner Seas Group, aims to remove the microfilters from laundry wastewater and can be retrofitted onto the washing machines that are on board. The University of Surrey has launched a study on the effectiveness of the trial on board Marella Explorer, monitoring and measuring the amount of microfilters the system can filter out. Using this data, Clean Seas Group will then be able to refine its system further and develop other manners in which microplastics can be filtered out of cruise ship wastewater. Should the trial prove successful, Marella Cruises will install the system on board its other cruise ships, Marella Discovery, Marella Discovery 2, Marella Explorer 2, and its newest ship, Marella Voyager. The initiative from Marella Cruises is an industry first in addressing the issue of microplastics. However, filtering the fibers out of the laundry water is just one step in the right direction. To combat microplastics more effectively, guests and crew members can also do their part. Many cruise lines offer environmentally friendly soap, body wash, and shampoo, which do not contain any microplastics, contrary to some of the more well-known brands using natural clothing such as cotton versus synthetic fibers where possible is also a useful method to reduce microplastics. Microplastics, that's the new step in a cleaner world for all of us. Sorry about the little bit of audio breaking up, folks. I have no idea why or where that's coming from, but it's there. So, the U.S. Coast Guard successfully and safely evacuated an 85-year-old man from Harmony of the Seas just hours after the ship set sail on Sunday from Galveston. Approximately 4 p.m., the ship sailed. A call for a medical evacuation came at 6:30 p.m. that evening. The evacuation was necessary after the guest, who has not been identified, fell and suffered a head injury on board. A Coast Guard Air Station Houston MH-65 Dolphin helicopter and crew was easily diverted to Harmony of the Seas, only 24 miles off Galveston at the time. The evacuation was successful. The passenger was transferred to the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston. He is reported in stable condition. German-based TUI Cruises, which operates in a joint venture with Royal Caribbean, has announced its newest ship, Mein Schiff 7, will set sail on a test voyage from June 16th through June 21st to give guests a preview of what the new ship has to offer. The anticipation voyage will take passengers from its home base in Kiel, Germany, to Aarhus in Copenhagen in Denmark and Oslo in Norway before returning to Kiel Bay for an official christening ceremony on June 22nd. Mein Schiff 7, still under construction at the Meyer Werft shipyard in Turku, Finland, is being finalized with the last touches before its debut. It is the first ship for TUI Cruises since 2019's debut of Mein Schiff 2. Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code CHILLIE for all your mobility needs. That's scootaroundstore.com. The newest ship in the Margaritaville at Sea fleet is on her way to Florida to begin the cruise line's first ever sailings from Tampa. The ship has finished an extensive renovation and rebranding and is just about ready to welcome her first guests with a new tropical vibe and longer itineraries. The ship's updating was done at Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland, including redesigning and rebranding the ship's public areas to match the Margaritaville theme with bold tropical colors and signature venues. Guests will be able to enjoy the 5 o'clock somewhere pool, the Port of Indecision buffet, the Fins Up Fitness Center, the Hot nightclub, and don't forget a selfie at the Flip Flop Atrium. A Filipino crew member has been arrested by the Grosseto prosecutor's office on charges of murder after allegedly letting her newborn die on a cruise ship. The woman, who concealed her pregnancy from her colleagues, gave birth approximately 2 days before the incident. The alarm was raised by her colleagues on Sunday evening while near Monte Argentero's coast. That's in the Grosseto province of Tuscany, Italy. Police intervened and boarded the Silver Whisper cruise ship. The newborn's body was discovered in the cabin shared by the mother and other crew members. Authorities conducted a thorough search of the cabin and other areas of the ship, collecting photographic evidence and initial testimonies. In a rather confused state, the woman was taken to the emergency room in Grosseto. On Monday evening, May the 20th, the prosecutor's office decided to place her under arrest. The baby's body is currently in the Misericordia morgue, and an autopsy may be scheduled. Preliminary examinations indicate that the baby's death was not due to suffocation. Instead, it appears the mother left the newborn unattended for hours in the cabin without providing medical care or nourishment. And I have learned when I finished that story this morning that the woman, who has not been named yet, allegedly hid her pregnancy out of fear of losing her job. She delivered the baby in the cabin she shared with 2 colleagues and did not seek any medical help. The 2 colleagues, women of Kenya and South African nationality, were also arrested on charges of complicity in voluntary manslaughter. They are believed to have assisted the mother during childbirth and helped conceal the newborn's body. That's a sad situation, folks. Author Ivan Cox is delighted to announce a comical cruise in the Caribbean to celebrate his hilarious novel, Cruise Ship Doctor. The Norwegian epic will depart from Port Canaveral on November the 16th for a rollicking 7-day cruise through the Caribbean, where Cox will read from Cruise Ship Doctor and regale passengers with humorous behind-the-scenes true anecdotes from his adventures as a cruise ship doctor. The Cruise Ship Doctor Cruise, sailing November 16th from Port Canaveral. Prices start at $639 for double occupancy, and solos start at $1,049 plus taxes and port charges. Join us on November 16th from Port Canaveral for the Cruise Ship Doctor Cruise. And that wraps up the news portion of today's show. We're coming up to almost 20 minutes that I haven't coughed. That's scary. All right, let's jump over in the chat room, see who else is here, and if anybody is fussing at me today. Let's see. We got through Mike and Kenneth and Steve, Katie. Mike says audio and video are excellent. Yeah, I broke up there on that one story, though. I'm not sure why. Hot Air says, I hope I didn't give Chillie my cough. No, this one's Hot Air Tom. This is strictly from the treatments they've been giving me. And it's a nebulizer, and there's two ways of doing it. You can either use this mouthpiece, which just hooks up to all the crap here, and breathe it in, or it's got a mask. And I tried it both ways, coughed either way, but I didn't cough bad. Then the other one's just a typical, you have to flip the thing open and suck it in. You have to rinse your mouth out because it's got some crap that'll screw up your mouth. Yuck. But anyway, I'm supposed to do that 3 times a day and this treatment 4 times a day. Ain't gonna happen. So they're gonna have to come up with something different. But at least for now, I'm not. Maybe after the show, I can lay down in the chair and take a nap. I haven't had much sleep last night, I'll tell you. But no, Hot Air Tom, as much as I like to blame crap on you, yeah, I can't blame this one on you. Gretchen's with us. Hi, Gretchen. There's Elizabeth on location. Buenos dias, Chillie and the gang greet us from another hot and sunny day in Playa. May have to hit the beach today. Ooh, that would be a little different, getting away from your pool. By the way, I was looking at some stuff last night about how much fire damage or possible fire damage there is across Mexico from the drought. Mercy, I've had no idea. I'm looking at, a lot of the states are flooded. They've had too much rain. But we could have some serious problems in Mexico with wildfires and stuff. And of course, there's some pretty good ones going on in Canada again, and some up in our northern climes. So yeah. All right, everybody, and they're sunny down in Mississippi. Everybody says sorry to hear that Steve and Tom are both under the weather. I tell you what, Steve, if you're still with me and can answer this, what happened to your luggage? I knew that you lost your luggage on the airlines, but I never heard if it finally caught up with you. So I've been dying to find out on that one. And sometime we'll sit down and do an interview, and I can get the whole story. So we'll get together on that. Yeah, Hot Air Tom says he's been sick since mid-April when they got off the Escape in Rome. Yeah, Katie, everybody says that's awful. Katie says Chillie is almost at 6,000. Yeah, I checked it while that end story was playing. I'll refurbish it in case we picked up any during the show today. We are at 5,974. So I'm 26 away from 6,000. So definitely the way it's been going here the last couple of days, I could definitely hit that, tonight by tomorrow. That would be pretty cool. Sonny says they hope Tom and Mike both feel better. I've been through 2 different antibiotics and was getting better, but cough has gotten worse again since the weekend. 5.97 thousand for Chillie. Come on, everyone. We need to see the number roll over today. Oh, boy, that would be cool on the show. Yeah, come on. 26 people will subscribe. If you got any new ones out there listening, hit that button. Pound that bell notification so you'll know when I go live or when a new video's up. And honest, folks, things aren't as disjointed always as they've been today. Normally, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I think I do a better job most of the time. Today's I'm a little off my game. Todd's with us. Hi, Todd. Always good to see you, my friend. Oh my God, no luggage on Alaska cruise would be a disaster. Yeah, wouldn't it? It showed up at 2:30 in the morning the day of the cruise. Wow, that's cutting it pretty close. All the years that I've traveled, Steve, I know that you're thinking, because this is your first one, that this happens all the time. All the years that I've traveled, knock on wood, it's never happened to me. I've never lost a suitcase. I've never even had a delay on a suitcase. So, yeah, it doesn't happen very often. But man, it's got to be awful when it does. So I mean, I felt for you the whole cruise because I didn't know for sure. So, I mean, I was seeing you in clothes, so I knew you weren't running around naked in Alaska. Ah, at least you got it. We were glad, Steve. Well, we were able to follow some of your stuff. One thing, Steve, that you'll, if you'll remember for next time, and your video clips were so good, but I couldn't use them because you loaded them on the Facebook. I need to get you to load them on the Facebook Messenger. On Messenger, I can steal them just like I stole some of your pictures and used them. You know, I can download them from your Facebook page, a Facebook feed, but I can't do anything with video clips. And if anybody's figured out a way to get around those rules, let me know. Because so often, just like Steve's had, Steve had some delightful clips that were posted on his normal Facebook feed that I would have loved to have used on the show. So it took me a while to get Hot Air Tom into that habit. Hot Air Tom was another one that I had to slowly train him so that he would load stuff onto Messenger so I could get it and use it. He's gotten really good at it now, I will say that. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing some cruising with him that I can have. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna twist his arm and turn him into a flipping cameraman for me. So I haven't had a cameraman follow me. Remember when the gal from the New York Times followed me around? What ship was that? That was Freedom of the Seas, maybe? I believe that was Freedom of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas, that I had the New York Times uh, uh, reporter followed me for the whole cruise. She even came to the house here before the cruise and interviewed me here while we were doing the show. Crystal, Crystal was her name, and they ended up doing that piece for the New York Times on me that was pretty good. But yeah, I haven't had anybody for that. She wasn't following me around with the camera. She was following me around with a microphone. So I'm going to have Hot Air Tom following me around with a camera. He doesn't know it yet, but anyway. So uh, Steve says, luckily I had Galaxy Smart Tags. Very good. They sent them to Vegas. There's Roger. Good morning from Jacksonville, Chile. Did you see this? I certainly did. I went over there right after the show yesterday and took a look at it. And so, and yeah, I can tell. I can tell your sons are your sons. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a nice looking craft there. Yeah, maybe one of these days I could get on that sucker. So one of the things I'm hoping to do, Hot Air says he knows it now. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna use you. You're in big trouble, Tom. Oh my God, you're gonna be so tired of me. You're gonna be so happy to get rid of me next April. You'll probably never speak to me again. Ah, and Cindy will think, oh my God, now I got to put up with Tom again. Chillie's had him for 6 months. Well, not quite, but close. Cindy says Chillie doesn't know what hot air Tom will make him do. Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah, that's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So, All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I am surprised I have made it now. What is it, 30 minutes? I have not coughed on the air. I thought I was going to be hacking and coughing and muting myself all day. Yeah, my voice is a little scratchy, but not near as bad as it was last night and when I got up this morning. That was pretty rough. So, all right, that's going to wrap me up for today, folks. I'll be back same time, same channel tomorrow. I hope everybody feels better and has a great day today. And as always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.